Hello, everyone. We are Team Horbinski, and this is our NSF search project presentation.
I'm Noah Horbinski.
I'm Luis Gonzalez.
And I'm Jack Fitzpatrick. So, start off our task distribution. Noah was our programming manager. He took the lead on all the code, so the Python parser, the database creation, and the actual applications code. Louis was our software test engineer. He came up with the validation testing, the test cases, and update proposals. And I sort of took the role of the community relations, where I worked mostly on the deliverable wording and facilitated the code reviews and the documentation. We also did some collaborative efforts, which was actually most of the work on the project. So the code reviews, review documentation, testing, and creation of presentation and user documentation. And a lot of the time we just pop into a meeting and we'd all just work on everything collaboratively. And so that was a huge part of our work.
So for our project objectives, we had to create a search system for the NSF awards that would hold the awards from 2010 to 2020, and we had to make the application be able to search the principal investigator institution for award ID, and we also had to make this visually appealing for the users that were going to be using it.
So for the database development process, in order to get the required information into the database, we had to create a Python program to loop through each of the files, extract the required information from each of the files, and then insert that data into the database. So while doing this, we encountered several different kinds of data anomalies. So we had to create programs to weed out these data anomalies, and then we had to systematically remove those. These were files such as files that weren't in XML format, and others would be duplicated files. And so the DBMS that we used was dbeaver. The database that we use is MariaDB, which is a permutation of MySQL. And then the web server we used was Apache. We use XAMPP. So for the GUI, at first our GUI was as simple as a text field and a drop-down menu and 2 buttons. But after running our pilot test, we kind of got the feedback that we need to revamp our GUI and make it more visually appealing and I guess more intuitive. So we worked on that a good bit.
Alright, for the software verification and validation, overall all the results were positive, and we ran 15 different test cases, and they were all accurate and complete. And after running these different test cases, we made several changes to the components based on the results for the pilot test. And right here we have one of the tests that we did. Right here we just did an investigator search for Hitoshi Murayama, and it displayed 4 results with the award ID, investigator, and the institution. And then this is another test we ran where we just searched an award ID, and obviously it shows the results were correct for the award ID.
Finally, for our lessons learned, we learned that test cases need to be developed with the user in mind in order to be the most optimal. Code reviews are a great way to optimize the code and fix issues. Working as a team reduces the amount of mistakes, and having clear user documentation makes the program much more understandable.
And now we're going to hop into the demonstration. So I'm going to quickly go over here. I'm going to open it up. And as you can see here, this is our updated GUI. So I'm going to quickly type in Hitos. This is supposed to be Hitos Murayama. This is one of our test cases, and I'm sure Hitos will pull up his awards. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this. As you can see, these are his 3 awards. So the functionality goes as follows. You can click on it. As you can see, that was the award, Hitos Murayama. You can just simply go back. You can click on another one. As you can see, this is this one, Hitos Murayama, etc. So you can see that functionality is here. very simple. You can see these buttons. They did a little bit of CSS to make them light up when you hover over them. Let's return back. One thing I should mention now is that this was optimized for mobile, so I can resize this to very small, and everything stays in its respective form. So as you can see, I can change it around a bit, and it's still everything there. Let's go ahead and type in Chattanooga for institution. And as you see here, this pulls up the list of everything that has Chattanooga in it. So we can go ahead and click on one of these here. I'll go ahead and click on Lauren Hayes. And as you can see here, this is Lauren Hayes. This is the award ID 2041856, 2041856 matches up. So that functionality is there. One thing I actually should note on this as well is you can see the parallax effect with the image in the background because the image is static. That's one effect that I had to do through CSS as well. Quickly, I will showcase some of the data anomalies. So if you type in none for actually, I'll go ahead and showcase the award ID as well. So I'll just go ahead and type in 2399. So this will pull up anything with a 2399 in the award ID. So whether it be at the end, in the middle, at the front, it's going to pull up all of them. So as you see, all of these, parallax effect. And as you can see, note the none here. That's what I was going to talk about next. So one of the data anomalies that we found would be when there is no listed investigator or institution. So I'll quickly show an example of this. Let's go to, I'll go ahead and copy this. The thing is, they do show the investigator on the website. However, if I copy this award ID, if I go to the information and I quickly open up this XML file, as you see on this XML file, there is no tags for institution or investigator. And as you can see, this will, while parsing this information, you can't get information that you don't have on this XML. So this is one of the data anomalies that we've encountered. So for these instances, all we decided to do was simply put none for the principal investigator, and institution is none as well, simply because we can't take this, we can't physically enter in this much data by clicking each of these and looking for this investigator or institution. So that's one data anomaly that we've encountered. Another data anomaly that we actually encountered was, I'll quickly go back here, go to the data anomalies. So is XML files that aren't actually in XML format. As you can see, there's no tags here for anything really. So you can see how this would throw an error when my XML parser is trying to read the XML tags and get that information. So these files, we had to create a program to weed out all of these files, and we moved them into the data anomalies here. There wasn't that many of them, so we could physically do it. We didn't have to manually do it. But there was enough to definitely throw your parser for a loop there. The last data anomaly that we really encountered was duplicated data. So if I go here, as you can see, 176066, I can quickly copy this award ID. As you can see, we do have it not in the file, so this is still here, but as you can see, it's actually, as you can see, everything lines up perfectly fine. But if I go ahead and copy this and go to the data anomalies, or not the data anomalies, sorry, the actual files, you will see that there's another one here. So they both have the exact same award ID. As you can see, they have the same principal investigator. I'm assuming this was some kind of update and they forgot to remove the old version. And this is a data anomaly, and this throws the primary key error when you're trying to insert this to the database. So this, you can see how this could be problematic. So we had to physically remove these. There's only, I believe, 3 cases of this in this entire thing here. So it wasn't too hard to manually do those, remove those rather. So yeah, that pretty much sums up our GUI and our actual search function. The functionality is all there, as you can see, and you got some. This would be all of them. That's gonna take forever to run. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly go back. Oof, that might just break my computer. Okay, we're good. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the search function.